Okay, fingers on buzzers, everyone. In what year did the hit song from the Black Eyed Peas, Boom Boom Pow, come out? And it features the line, "You're so 2008, that's so 3000 and late." What year did that song come out?
Well, 2008.
Josh Snares?
I would say 2007, just to be controversial.
Well, you're both wrong, because weirdly enough, that song came out in 2009.
I was going to say, I wanted to say 9. I used to be a pretty big Black Eyed Peas fan, and I was like, hey,
Yes,
there wasn't the next album like in 2010. There's no way it was 2009. But no, I'm clearly wrong.
Fake fans all around.
Yeah.
Speaking of Boom Boom Pows, how about we talk about some Moffat Boom Boom Wows, am I right?
Oh, that wasn't bad. I'll give you that. That wasn't bad. We should do that.
Thank you. Say roll the intro, Troy.
Why is it always me? I was
It's
giving
up
you
to
a chance to roll the intro.
Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Troy, his name is Crispy, and their name is Josh. And we're the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. Today we're
talking about Boom Boom.
I love it. I really love that, Josh. Josh is like, oh, I'll do the intro if you want to. Crispy sends them to the actual just block of text from it, and you read it verbatim.
You read it word
Oh,
for word.
Yeah. Welcome, Josh Snares, to the Who's There Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel and audio platforms. We're talking about Boom, episode 3 of season 1. Exciting times, exciting times. How are you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing just fine. I am not standing on a landmine, so I'm doing pretty good.
That was some good rhymes there. You hear the rhymes?
Wow.
That was good.
Absolute
that was good.
bars.
I'm a writer, I'm an artist.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Performing artist Josh Snares in the chat today. It's an absolute honour to have you. Stephen Moffat has made his triumphant return to Doctor Who, and a lot of other people have made their triumphant return to our hotline today. So I thought I would spice some things up, and let's start with a call, shall we?
Straight away, a call for the thoughts
Straight
on
away,
Boom.
straight away, and then we'll talk
Which,
to
by
Josh,
the way,
see what's up.
Before we do, I've got to give credit to our audience. I
so
didn't put
many.
anything else on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. I mentioned on Discord about, hey, don't forget to call in. We got just barrels of them in without me even asking. So people are just ready and on it.
They're on
thank
it.
you, everyone. Good stuff.
Thank you, or else this
My
would have
memory
been...
is not good enough to remember to ask you every weekend, so thank you for proving that you don't need me to do it.
Here we go. I want to say hi to Jason from the States again.
Oh, this is our high energy man, isn't it?
High energy man. Here we go. Hello, Jason.
Bring
How
it,
are you?
Jason.
Hey there, Troy and Crispy. It's Jason from Georgia in the United States again. It's great to know that Crispy likes my energy and thinks I've got pizzazz. I've been told I've been full of things before, but never pizzazz. Anyway, on to Boom. My word. Stephen Moffat, welcome back. That was such a great classic, not classic Who, but classic Doctor Who story. Loved it.
I'm in love with Jason.
Oh, love Jason.
I love Jason.
Is it?
I love Jason so much. That's one of my favorite callers. But yeah, look, I'll be honest. I feel like a lot of people in the hotline today are going to be fans of this episode. Absolutely. Troy and I haven't really discussed each other's thoughts. Troy sent me a message saying, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?"
Yeah.
I was just telling Josh off the call that on Saturday I intended to watch it first thing in the morning, but then I saw some school friends, and then my girlfriend's brother was over in the afternoon, so I was like, "Oh, I'll watch it at night." But then I got a message from my college guy, friends being like, "Hey, we're having margaritas and playing Overcooked." So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll watch it after that." And then I was too hungover, and watched it about Sunday afternoon.
Oh my god!
So it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that long.
But you went in spoiler free, because you were so busy you didn't even see anything online.
Exactly, exactly, and that's good.
Still good.
Sometimes it's good to be away from your phone. Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. But one person's opinion on Boom that I'm very curious to hear is Josh Snares. So Josh Snares.
No, just kidding.
Controversial. No, Josh.
Yeah, got you for a second there.
That would have been one hell of a fight then. Ooh.
Yeah. The reason we got you on is because I remember you saying on the 50% Doctor Who podcast a while ago that you and I are Stephen Moffat apologists. We grew up in this era. We are fond of this era. We're fond of this writer. We know he's flawed, but so are we. Josh, what do you think about Boom? That's what I'm just curious. Your initial thoughts.
Because your first Doctor Who episode was The Lodger. The first trailer I ever saw for Doctor Who was The Lodger. So we had that connection. We had that. So there is this, we came up at the same time.
And James
It's tangible.
Corden. I don't
it's
get
tangible.
It's all about James Corden, and it scares the hell out of me.
It scares me too, and I'm not even Australian. Like, okay, all right.
There must have been something happening in Australia at the time that made Doctor Who popular. I don't know. But yeah, I was very happy to have Stephen Moffat back. He is probably my favorite Doctor Who writer. I just think he has a really interesting point of view. And I really, because I know a lot of people with this era, they were like, oh, there's so much money and so much budget, they're not going to tell smaller stories. And then they instantly just told like a really story where there's like 2 sets. And they showed that they can do that well. So like, I think a lot of those fears can be quashed. I really enjoyed it. First thoughts. I loved it first go.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I couldn't have said it better myself. And we probably should have said, if anyone doesn't know who the one, the only magnificent Josh Nares is, they are a Doctor Who content creator that specializes in videos about, Josh, what would you say? What do you specialize in?
I mainly talk about classic Doctor Who, but I do talk about Doctor Who, the new series as well, and also Hobgoblins whenever I can.
I was hoping
just
you'd
to keep the
mention
content a bit varied. Yeah.
Oh, very
There's
good.
not usually a Venn diagram overlap of classic Doctor Who and Hobgoblins, I'll be honest with you. So that is a USP. I'll give you that.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you'd be surprised of Aussie Doctor Who YouTubers that cross over with James Corden. That's a strange Venn diagram, but it exists, okay? And it's in this chat right
Strangely used
now.
to it now. Strangely used to it. Okay, Crispy, I'm going to do the thing that you always get nervous about. I'm going to ask you a score out of 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Josh,
this is something we do like
I think what we do is
right at the start.
We go 3, 2, 1, go, and all of us give our score out of 10. I want to see how we line up on this.
Do you have a number in your head, Josh, right now?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This
Not
is going to be
happy about it.
Are we going to go on go?
Oh, yeah. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. So on go, we all say it together. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. 10.
9.
7.
Wow.
Wow.
There's a mix. There's a mix.
Wow.
Thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so curious. There's a whole 3 points between the first place and third place here.
Yeah, so let's just recap there. So I said 10, Crispy, you said 9, and Josh said 7.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like a hater.
Yeah.
No, you're not a hater.
I'm surprised by that. I am surprised by the 7.
No. I'm not that surprised. Josh, since you haven't been on the other episodes, what did you rate Space Babies and The Devil's Core? This might give us a better picture as to your psyche right now. Or maybe I shouldn't ask. That doesn't need to be public information. We can withhold that.
I've never been a huge person to like rank things because I feel like I either like an episode, I didn't like it, or it's kind of in the middle.
Valid.
Whereas I like this episode, but I don't think it's Stephen Moffat's best. Like I think it's a 7. A 7 is a really good number. I don't think that's a bad number.
7's a great number.
No, not
Whereas
at all.
I would put like something like Heaven Sent as a 10. Whereas this is nothing near Heaven Sent. But I don't know. But Space Babies and Devil's Court, I both liked them, but I wasn't in love with them either. So they'd probably be around a 7 as well. But like 7's good. This is like consistently good episodes that I like.
Okay.
There's something to be said about having consistently good Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Troy. Okay, we've heard Josh's point of view here. I want to know why you would give this episode a 10 out of 10. A flawless episode of Doctor Who. This is I'm more. I feel like Josh can justify themselves quite well, but you, sir, I don't know what you're on about. 10 out of 10.
Well, you think I don't justify myself well? Excuse me.
Troy,
Okay.
you do. I'm just setting you up for a really good comment.
Fair. So one thing is you'll realize about me, Josh, is I'm extremely positive. Like I will give a lot of things like pretty decent high scores. Like something has to be bad for me to really like something like really bad for me to be like, oh no, that was rough. So I've
Josh,
settled
have you
on my
seen
scores
Star
for the
Wars?
previous.
Have you seen Star Wars, Josh?
Oh no, don't do this.
I don't want to talk about Star Wars in front of Troy.
Okay, that's okay. That's the safest a guest has ever been on this show.
I'm not a fan of Star Wars,
that's
not
fair
the
play.
slightest. I don't know what you're talking
Sorry,
about.
it was a trigger word. I shouldn't have said it. Troy, put your lightsaber away, please. We have a guest.
I love that, Troy. I love that people could be like, no, I just love it. And I I've always said that whenever people are like, "Oh, I can't believe this person liked this thing that I hate," it's like, don't you realize that person's living the best life? Like, you're in the better
Absolutely.
perspective. You got to enjoy it. Whereas I'm some sad old git who's complaining about a television show. Like, get it together. So like you're way better off. So
Well
good for you,
said.
Troy.
Well said. Thank you very much.
Yes, all right, good.
No,
Sorry to derail. Troy, you go.
So I kind of look at it like, it's like Josh said, this is not as good as Heaven Sent. And I realize I'm giving them both the same score, but I kind of look at it like, when we do our tier list, Crispy, and we'll put like several things in S tier, but even in that we'll go, this is much better than this. Like, this is high S tier, this is low S tier. Like, for me, there are episodes like Heaven Sent, World Enough and Time, etc., that I would give a 10 out of 10 and would say they're better than this. But for me, it was everything that I wanted from a Stephen Moffat episode. Doctor episodes don't tend to make me cry. This made me cry twice. I thought the writing and the pacing was really good. Yeah, I don't know why. I was so invested in this episode. Ruby getting
You watch
shot.
it at midnight? You watch it at midnight?
I actually watched it at about midday or something. I was busy in the evening. I was at a barbecue. I was busy like you, Crispy.
What?
And fun
That's
fact,
what we do in Australia.
Doctor
What are
Who-
you on about?
Doctor Who was an actual point of conversation amongst the people at the barbecue. I was like,
What?
we're so back, baby.
we made
We're so
it.
back. It's like,
I've
people
had
like, we
so
haven't
many
seen the episode
barbecues
yet.
in
I
my
was like,
life. Never had
Yeah.
one conversation about Doctor Who at a barbecue.
I was like, it's Moffat, he's back. And then on the Sunday, I met up with someone from uni, and she also brought up Doctor Who, and I was like, what is happening? We are so back. The viewing figures might reckon they're down, but I don't believe it. I think there's a lot of iPlayer people. I think we're back. I think we're so back right now. But yeah,
Okay.
so I just thought it was a really well written and well paced episode. I loved all the performances, and I think the actor's name is Russell abbreviated to Bav. I've watched the Doctor Who, the Boom commentary, which I know Josh has also seen because they've already made a mini video about Pertwee's Burgers, which we'll get to shortly. But I watching that, I just I've lost my train of thought. Bav. The guy who plays Varada Sethu. Hello. There's a lot of things to talk about.
What?
Oh my goodness. Her character,
much.
Monday's like love interest. The guy shoots Ruby, and in any other episode, no matter what happens, I go, "You shot Ruby. I don't care." And yet his message to Monday on the hologram made me cry. I was like, "Excuse me." I was like,
Wow.
"What?" So it was just,
Wow.
but mostly Shooty's performance, like.
Yeah.
You always want to look for, in particular doctors, for episodes that you can point out and go, this is a definitive episode for this doctor. And I knew right there and then that's an instant classic for him. Like little moment, like the amount of crying, like he did at the right times, and his emotion, his tonality, and in particular, little small thing, but the way he kind of just goes, "Oh," as Ruby died, like nearly dies, like that reaction was like so visceral. I thought, oh my god. So for me, absolutely exactly what I wanted from Stephen Moffat. And I'm with you, Josh. I think Moffat's probably my favorite writer. I think Russell, I prefer as a showrunner slightly. But
Yeah,
like
I
when
would
we're
say
talking
that
about
too.
episode writers, I don't think you get better than Moffat. I really don't.
Yeah, agreed.
It was
you go.
fun.
Like,
It was a
I
great watch.
Sorry, what did you say, Crispy? Sorry.
I was just
interrupted.
saying it was a great watch, Hugo.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
just?
I just like I over and over in my head, I'm just hearing Shooty being like, "Do you get it? Do you get it?" And I'm
you
like,
get-
that
get-
moment.
And
I was
Faith
I
yell.
love when the Doctor gets just a little bit angry and he's just tired of how slow everyone is, which can be sometimes it can rub you up the wrong way. But the way he did it was just so like I really felt it and it just stuck with me. And I'm like, oh wow, he's the Doctor and he's brilliant. I don't think anyone writes the Doctor better than Stephen Moffat. He just has a different perspective of who the Doctor is as a character and he just gets it. Do you get it?
He gets it, yeah.
Gets it, absolutely.
Get
Which,
it.
speaking of, Moffat did say in the commentary that because he's confirmed, I don't think we've talked about it officially, he is writing the next Christmas special, which is called,
Let's
or has
go.
written it, sorry, and it's filmed, which is called Joy to the World. And he said in the commentary, I've written like him being a bit angry, a bit mean in that episode, and it's kind of like it's hinted at in like Boom, but he kind of pushes it further apparently in that episode. So maybe he's going to be a bit of a Scrooge, who knows? It's exciting.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Look, Shooty gave it an almighty performance, and I think
Yes,
you're
he did.
absolutely right, Troy. Like this will be a staple episode for Shooty Gatwa as the Doctor, most definitely. Like this is by far his best performance, and as you were saying, Josh, how Moffat just knows the Doctor. I think I was listening to the 50% Boys this morning, and they said that like the Doctor in this almost felt different to the Doctor in the previous two episodes. Does this Doctor feel too different or not? That's what I'm posing to the room right now.
I think it's just another side to him. We're only 4 episodes in, Like, we've seen this Doctor be heroic and be really happy and have a laugh, but we haven't really seen him in an area where it's like really, really dangerous. And this is a moment where he's completely helpless. Like, he can't move, he can't do anything. Ruby's dead, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that would upset anybody, you know. But I don't know.
I thought that was so funny as well, because the early previews were like, because she's stuck on a landmine, it gives Millie a chance to shine. And I was like, oh, I'm ready for this. And then she shot like 20 minutes in, and I'm like, huh? I mean, she does still give a great performance, but I was just like, oh, I guess it is still all shooting. Okay, all right.
Can I?
She did a great job at lying down.
Oh, yeah. She was
Yeah.
there for a while. In a little sleeping bag. She would have had a great few weeks on set.
She was fine.
I think what Moffat does really well is the setup for like oh my gosh moments, because so many pieces had to be right for that Millie getting shot moment to like not feel, it felt earned, which I thought was
landed,
crazy.
yeah, absolutely.
Because just the entire scene with Verada Sethu, who we need to talk about very soon, where she was like, oh, just shoot me in the arm, we put it to setting 1, and then, you know, her love interest comes and sees that she's under attack from a stranger. It's completely justified as to why Millie gets shot, and that was an actual oh my god moment for me. I couldn't believe that happened. I couldn't believe it, but of course it's also a Stephen Moffat moment that she doesn't stay dead for long. She doesn't stay dead for long.
And also, it's a good retroactive explanation for why when Mundy's shooting the Doctor's arm, it doesn't really hurt him very much, because I thought, what is she hitting him with to shoot him 3 times in the arm and him just kind of grimace a little bit? Like, it's so,
I thought it might be like some Time Lord regeneration nonsense going on, but yeah, it does answer that.
As this show does so often, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was really good.
Timey lordy, handy wavy stuff, you know.
Exactly. Should we take another caller from our beautiful callers, shall we?
Let's do it.
Who do you want? We've got a heap. Josh, if you can see any that have stars next to their name, you can pick one out.
Yeah, because Crispy's listened to a lot of these.
Let's go Connor.
Connor I know. Oh, Jerry, this is a regular caller of the show.
Okay,
imagine
I believe
if
one of our
Finish
patrons
was a caller. Yeah. That's what you're expecting here. Like, this man just makes audio dramas that lasts 40 seconds.
Here we go. Hello, Connor. Welcome back to the show.
The Doctor says to John Francis Vader, dad to dad, we would do anything for our kids. Doctor, where are your kids? Where are your kids, Doctor? Name one kid and tell me where they are.
Name them.
Tell me where your kids are. What would you do for your kids? No? Okay. Where's Susan? Where's your granddaughter? I mean, yeah, you were like, oh, she's across town. We haven't seen your granddaughter in like 57 years. Like, where's your granddaughter, Doctor? Where? Where's K9, Doctor? Where the flip is K9, Doctor?
Wow.
I like how there wasn't. I teased this up as like a big audio production. I thought he was going to have his little usual audio bites and clips, but no, it's just him having a breakdown over the Doctor's kids. Fair enough, Connor. Fair enough. Very true.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh,
there's no lie there. There's no lie. I still think we'll see Susan at some point. I think that was set up, personally.
I hope so.
How would you like it to be done, Josh, if they did bring Susan back? Like, I imagine tastefully, but what does that look like for you?
I would like Caroline Ford to come back, maybe just for an episode and then to regenerate. But if they just kept her in all the time, I'd eat it up. But I feel like at this point, why hasn't it happened yet? It feels so obvious because there's so much you can do with it, and it feels like it is setting up to it. So I'm hoping they do something with it because I love Susan, I love Caroline Ford, and there's so much. Like, the Doctor's family is something that really should be explored, and it feels like it is. It feels like if she doesn't turn up, it's going to be really odd. But we can dream. But yeah, if maybe it's the thing where Caroline doesn't want to come back. Maybe she's like, well, I don't act anymore.
I'd find
it's
that surprising,
she's
right?
About, like, premieres and stuff. She's definitely involved with Doctor Who, like going to screenings and things. So she's at least not on bad terms. So that makes me think maybe.
No.
Yeah, I think she has a good relationship with Doctor Who, but I don't know what the last project Caroline Ford was in. Like, because even when I was speaking to the beautiful Tegan, our beautiful Aussie Tegan, she was
her.
like, my last acting job like pretty much was Doctor Who, and then I stuck to producing. I was like, I can respect that, Miss Janet Fielding. You could do that. So I'm not quite sure. Now, have you got the stats there?
I'm just really
Troy, my
enjoying
boy?
looking at her IMDb, and every entry up from
Big Finish.
2016 onwards is credited as Susan. Looks like most of them are audio things, though. It says she's in the Once and Future Big Finish thing as Susan. Something called Mind Sick, which is a TV series, but also credited as Susan Foreman. I don't know what that is, but that was 2022. That's something.
Well, actually,
Oh,
if you move around all of the letters in Mindsick, it spells out Doctor Who. Did you know that?
Wow, there you go.
Did you know that?
It's all Big Finish stuff, mainly.
Yeah, wow.
So there you go. Credited
well, there we
in
go.
Adventure in Space and Time as Joyce. Does she have a cameo in Adventure in Space and
Yeah,
Time
she
that I
has a
didn't know
cameo.
about?
Does she?
She's
Where?
like-
Like
that?
on the street, and she's like calling in some kid to come in to watch Doctor Who.
What?
Wow.
I
It's
never
a glitch
knew
if you
Wow.
that.
miss it, but
fake
if you're
fan.
insane like me, you'll notice it.
Fair enough.
On first
Well,
watch.
it seems like a Troy Red Archer live detail.
I was gonna say, it feels like something I would spot, like David Tennant with his 2 fingers and 1 fingers in the marmalade and fair hair, like just stuff that no one else notices. And I'm like,
ridiculous.
where
That's
did his finger
ridiculous. Unreal. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, Troy. I think you know what time it is, my boy.
considering you just closed the share screen for the hotlines, yeah, I think I know what time it is.
Do you know what time it is, Josh?
Is it bingo time?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Bingo!
What?
Bingo!
All right.
This jingle.
It's a fun one. It's time for bingo, everyone.
I'm just intensely watching Josh's reaction to this theme.
It's a fun one. It is a fun one. A few weeks ago, Troy and I made a bingo card trying to predict things that are going to happen in season 1. And as soon as Boom finished, I was like, oh, we're going to have a fun week on bingo. We're going to have a fun week on bingo. So, Troy, reveal the bingo card.
Yeah, a combination of things we think will happen, things that might not happen, and a few little fun things or gut instincts. We've got a whole range of stuff here on this bingo card.
My goodness
I think
gracious
you may
me.
need to, on your end, I don't know if you've used Riverside, but you may need to zoom, like expand my camera.
Can you
Or
see it,
I
don't
Josh?
know.
Got to make sure while we're
It's in the top right corner. Top right corner, you can move
Yep,
things
top right
around.
corner. Got to make sure they can see this in all its glory.
Oh, digital marketing expert Josh Nares has figured it out.
There we go.
Um,
Fantastic. So, this is our bingo grid. For the audio listeners, I'll give a very brief explanation. We are 3 episodes in, 3 episodes in now. So we've crossed off a few things from Space Babies and The Devil's Cord. So far, out of the 25 spaces, we have crossed out 7. And the closest we have is we are 2 away from a bingo joke. Bingo joke. I was looking at dirty joke. So
a bingo
let's
joke.
start with dirty joke, because it was an ongoing thing for the last few episodes of the podcast. Like, we don't need to worry about dirty joke. Moffat will have it covered. Was there a
Yeah.
dirty joke in there we can count? What do we think?
I've got one,
Which one?
Yeah.
Crispy?
which was
'Cause
slightly
I think-
naughty.
Yeah.
Surely it was the tattoo bit, which is a bit of
Yeah.
a misdirect. It's not
Yeah.
really a joke. It was just a funny,
It was a
flirty
misdirect. Yeah, 'cause
misdirect.
she was teasing
So-
like, hey, you can see it somewhere people don't see. And it's like, oh, it's
Oh.
actually on another dude's body. Go
on
check
Posh.
it out. Yeah.
Stephen was on his best behavior this episode.
He
Yeah,
really
you put
was.
that
Good
close
for
down.
you, Moff. Good
I
for
can't
you.
believe
Yeah,
he
well
didn't make a
done.
browser history joke.
Yeah, shame.
That should have been on the bingo card.
It
Yeah,
should
browser
have
Maybe, maybe on
should've been.
Christmas.
Yeah,
But
Christmas.
you know what? we're counting this. We are counting this as a dirty joke. So
Let's
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Override
Oh my
that.
goodness
There we go.
gracious me. We are
So,
so
all
close.
we need is for the 15th Doctor to die at some point, and we've got bingo. Like, and to be fair, let's lobby this. Do we count Ruby as dying? I don't think she actually properly dies. They kind of say in the commentary
Well, look,
that
this is
she's always, like,
open
on-
for debate.
Yeah.
Does Ruby die? Or is it like, because I think we forget that like Strax fully died, and then they're like, oh, here we go. Oh, we'll
yeah.
fix it.
And then
we'll
the next
fix
episode,
it.
he's been run over by a cab.
So, I've been run over by a cop. So
That's a memory worm.
I
I wish I could do a
memory
Strax
worm.
impersonation. That'd be really
Do you want me
good.
to get the memory?
You could do a
That's better. That was
impersonation.
better.
Can you do any impersonations, Josh?
No, actually, I can't do it. I can barely even speak like my Australian accent, let alone others. So
could you do famous YouTube and digital marketer Josh Nares?
Hello, I'm Stephen Moffat.
Oh,
How's that?
wow! It's like
Damn,
they're
Moffat's
in the
with us in the
room.
room. Oh my
Wow.
god! Can't believe it. Can't believe
That's
it.
crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, so what
I'm
else
gonna
have we
say
got
no.
on the,
I'm gonna say no to Ruby dying. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Let's not. Yeah, I don't think we count that because
Yeah.
also when the snow pauses, you could have took that as she's actually died for a second there, but you hear the ambulance say life signs fading, so she's still not dead by that point. So I'm gonna say a no on Ruby dies.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, she got better.
We do have a
did,
very
she did.
specific square on there that says "big reveal" in Boom.
I
What do you
would
think
count
about
Verada
that?
Sethu popping
Yeah.
up here a bit
Yeah.
early. I think I
Yeah.
would count that
Yeah,
as a big
okay.
reveal in Boom. So
I think that might be it for that. And just while we're on
Yeah.
Verada set, I think we should talk about that. Was anyone expecting that this week of all weeks, the Moffat episode? No.
Nah.
It's
I don't think
very
they
much
were
a-
expecting it either, right?
No, exactly. It's basically. I mean, everyone's saying it. So it's not exactly a hot take, but it's basically just a Clara situation again. Like
Is it?
We know
more,
it's.
Is it more Freema Agyeman situation?
Yeah, I thought it was more
Actually,
of a
yeah,
Freema.
that's a better reference. Yeah, because I was going to say it's not quite the same. 'Cause it's not the same character. They've said, but they did say that
Or a
Ruby's
Colt
story
Baker
will.
for the classic
Wow.
fans.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but they did say
gosh.
that like her story, like Ruby's story, will tie into why we see Verada again. So maybe like it'll be like actually like Capaldi with Caecilius, or like why did I choose this face? Like their previous appearance will be acknowledged. Actually, that is like Martha as well, because they did that with Martha, didn't they? Because she said she had the cousin in Smith and Jones, and that was referencing her previous role. So there may be some kind of
there's
reference
20
to
actors
Monday
in the
Flick.
UK, all right? They're just recycling them.
Yeah.
All right, that's what they're
they are.
doing.
That
Okay.
is all it is. That is all it is.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
even this
saved on
big
Mark
Disney
yet?
budget, we still can't get actors.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
like
true.
that?
It's true.
Isn't it just? Oh, it's
It's
disappointing.
ridiculous.
Disappointing,
It's
man.
absolutely ridiculous. Is there anything else on that, Troy, that is piquing your interest? I don't think
I don't
so.
think
Did they
so.
high five platonically?
They didn't.
Did
They
15 and
hugged.
Ruby high five platonically?
They hugged. Shooty did some drum beats to the music when the new TARDIS was revealed, because I recognised
Yeah,
that
that was
because I'm
nice.
sad. I love
That
that piece
was
of music,
nice.
so I heard it and was like, but no, there's nothing else on there. I mean, looking at it, like a lot of these are starting to become oddly specific, so it's going to get harder to cross things off. Hopefully next week we think 73 yards is a 10 out of 10, otherwise that square's going to be a bit redundant
It's
as
gonna
well.
it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Okay. All right. Get rid of the bingo card. I don't want to see it anymore. She's
It's
gone
gone.
until next week. See ya. Okay, fantastic. You know what? We have so many calls. Let's just listen to a few and interject with some witty, funny comments, shall we?
No, I don't think we're capable of that.
I think we could do that. Hello, Jake. How are you? Hello, Jake. Hello, Jake. There we go.
Someone explain to me why in the Devil's Court there was like a 6-month time skip, and then in Boom, Ruby had acted like she had never seen another planet before. Surely in 6 months of space and time travel, Ruby would have seen another planet before. By now, Alonzi.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you very much to Pavarotti for calling in.
And Murray Goldie, your heart out.
I texted Crispy before this episode and went, I've got notes, and one of the things I wrote down, and it's the top one, is first alien planet 6 months in. Because
up with that?
I mean, it's. I mean, I think you also tweeted about this, Josh. It is like it's not that deep in a way, but I think it just further proves the Devil's Court was not meant to come that early in the season. I honestly, that's what I think now. Like because of Eurovision, they went, hey, it's the musical episode right before Eurovision. They just moved it. Like I can't.
Apparently, there's like production documents saying there was always supposed to be episode 2. I just think it's such a weird line. Maybe there's
Yeah.
something cut from the script where it was like maybe the Doctor just drops her back 6 months later for some reason, or I saw some tweet, someone being like, "Oh, maybe she's not in the TARDIS full time and she goes back home for a bit and then comes back." But there's no evidence of that either, so I don't know.
No.
Wow.
Plus,
but I'm
there's that
deciding
line where he
to
says
ignore
about.
it.
Well, it's like that line as well. It says to I think we mentioned this to the 50% boys, Crispy, where it's like when I first met, I said to you about the toy maker. No, you didn't. You didn't say jack about that to her. So
Well,
there's a couple of inconsistencies there that I was like,
Isn't there this? I swear there's a massive theory. I haven't gone too like hard on the theories like I usually would because this is the first series in a while where I feel like I don't have to edit like videos each day and be like, oh, gotta get the uploads. I've got like a bunch in the backlog. I'll do a live stream once a week with my thoughts and that's it. I'm not going down the rabbit hole. However, I did see someone say that these inconsistencies become a big part of it. Like it's almost messing with the reality, or like the realms are kind of messing with Ruby and the Doctor's relationship, or that's just the fans trying to justify a few plot holes.
which Doctor Who fans will always do.
Yes.
It's weird though, because like with Russell's first era, every single plot hole gets an answer. even the tiniest little details, it's so specific. And maybe I have too much faith in Russell, but like there's this idea that I feel like it has to add up to something because that's the type of writer he is. But maybe a lot of time has passed since then, so maybe that's not the type of writer he is anymore. Maybe these are just random inconsistencies in the script. It just doesn't feel right for him because it's something that would annoy him.
I feel like a lot of payoffs are on the way because we said in a previous episode there are so many plot threads going on. We've got Susan Twist, who's Ruby's parents. We've got Mrs. Flood. We've got something wrong with the TARDIS. There are a million things going on, but this one I find like is so minute. But you're absolutely right. Russell usually does justify his work. So, but maybe we won't see that for like another 4 seasons when people are like, "Why didn't you answer this?"
Let's even think about like where they had Eve Miles play a character in season 1, and then Journey's End, they were like, "Oh, you're related in this way," because he has to do it. He has to fix it. It doesn't need to be because the audience knows they're just the same actor, but it still gets answered. So I feel like it's going to end up being something, but maybe that's too much faith. But
we'll
I want
see.
to believe.
We'll see.
We're only 4 episodes into Shooty's era. He's only had 4 episodes
Anything
out.
could happen.
Early days.
Anything can happen.
Well, we've not talked about it, and I just want to get your thoughts on this, Crispy and Josh. Have you either of you seen this ongoing theory that the one who waits is the trickster?
Yeah.
Yep.
You have. What do we think? What do we think? I will explain this for people who don't know, but just opening thoughts.
I'm fine. I think I don't know. I'm like me and the trickster. We don't talk very much anymore since Sarah Jane Smith. The show is no longer running. But like, I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm not a big trickster. I don't know. Not sympathize. What do you call it? Simp. A trickster simp.
Yeah.
You know? I don't simp the trickster, okay? Josh, save me.
I've only just thought about this. I love the trickster, but Gareth Roberts invented that character, and he has a lot of controversy surrounding the show and his political views that I do not agree with. And I think he's made it clear that he would never work with Doctor Who again, and I'd be very surprised if Russell decided to work with Gareth Roberts again. So I'm going to discount the trickster altogether. But there might be some weird rights thing where Russell did somehow invent the character and doesn't have to give credit. But usually, if you're going to use a writer's character, you generally have to get permission. But I don't know about the new rules. Like maybe in the new series it's different. Maybe, but in the classic series, if you wanted to use the Sontarans, you had to go through Robert Holmes and his estate. And that's why you get the little credits at the end being like, created by Robert Holmes. So I don't know if in the new series, if you write a script and you hand it in, all the rights is to the BBC. I don't know.
I think I remember in Future the Jadoon, the credits credited Russell T Davies for writing the Jadoon from Smith and Jones for creating them. So I think the rule still applies. Maybe it doesn't apply between shows and it only applies within Doctor Who. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, so
it
for
could
the,
even
for the
just
audio
be
listeners,
professional courtesy.
Yeah, it could just be that. So very brief rundown for people who are wondering on audio platforms, because like I said, Crispy and I, we're not really buying into a lot of the theories and stuff. This is just one that I've seen that I do think has some weight to it. So obviously I can't play audio clips out on here, but someone has spotted that the song that Ruby sings in Devil's Chord, where Maestro's like, there's a hidden song, very similar to the Trickster's theme that's used in his first appearance in Sarah Jane Adventures.
Hang on. Wait, Troy, what does that sound like?
I'm not singing it, Crispy.
Can you? Yeah, I just want to hear. I'm not familiar with it. If you just give us a quick rendition,
That's
I think
really
Josh
nice.
is on my
Anyway,
side.
moving on. The second
right.
part, you can just look at the Twitter thread at PaulTheAge2. Go look it up yourself. I'm not singing on this podcast. You're paying me for that. Also, Baby being left on a doorstep is very similar to an unused Sarah Jane Adventure story where a child was going to be left on a doorstep that turned out to be a child of the Trickster. That wasn't used, but it was planned. Also, Ruby's ability to manifest things, very Trickster-esque. She mentioned Star Trek, the Star Trek uniforms. She mentioned Strictly dancers turn up. Things are going on there. Russell also makes a joke about the Trickster having a plan that's falling into piece, but it's a story from another time during a 2020 lockdown. Also, Tales from the TARDIS. We've seen that there's a Disney Plus trailer that suggests that 15's in that memory TARDIS at one point. In one of those episodes, Clyde Langer's holding the Trickster's puzzle box. And then I spotted one as well that I sent to him the other day, which was when they explained the 14th Doctor and him being like, it is the 14th Doctor. It's not a trick, it's not a dupe, it's not a plan by the Trickster. There's a lot of mentions and things that tie in nicely where it could just be a lot of really nice coincidence, but there's something to it, I feel. There might just be something to it. So there you go. You're up to speed. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not. Doctor Who fans do love to connect things where there's nothing there. I think that's something that literally Russell has said before. But that's a theory in particular I'm interested in, and I would like to see if it happens. But yeah, I do know what you mean, Josh, about Gareth Roberts. I'd be very hesitant over that angle of it. But if they can just bring him back and just be like, hey, Gareth, we're bringing him back and not telling you, then, maybe.
You'll never know.
You never know. You never know.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But hey, look, I've been wrong before. I've been on record saying there's no way in the world David Tennant's coming back to Doctor Who. And then anyway.
Yeah, same.
Same with Stephen Moffat. Okay, I don't know anything.
Same.
Who's the
I
next
don't know
caller?
anything. We have so many gorgeous faces in the chat. Let's go, Mateo. Hello.
Hot take. This is the best episode since 2017's The Doctor Falls. I mean, it is a brilliantly written episode about how capitalism funds and pushes for wars due to how profitable they are and how religiously motivated people, or well, soldiers specifically, will mindlessly follow orders, not really thinking about them. And it's like, wow, amazing, brilliant. Also, villain guard reference and fish custard, and the Anglican Marines are back. I can say words well. And also, this is the first time the Doctor and Ruby are face to face with Susan Twist's character. Ooh.
Oh, many points in there. Look, Moffat, he's brilliant with the big concepts. He's really good at the big concepts. But yeah, look, what do we think about Susan Twist? They did actually see Susan Twist this week, which is interesting.
We did, yeah. Because I thought that maybe they'd exchanged a glance in Devil's Cord when she said about the price of the coffee, but apparently they didn't actually look directly at each other at any point. So this is the first time they've seen her face. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But Russell again in the commentary was like, "Oh, it's actually just that we don't have enough actors, and we just always say to Susan, hey, do you want to come along and have a laugh?" And then he basically goes, "We know you spotted. We've spotted. All will be revealed." He does say that, so he knows that we know.
People on Twitter took that quote seriously. They're like, oh, "I can't believe Russell's saying this," and it's like he's clearly joking.
Yeah, he's just having a laugh.
He's a madman. He's a madman.
It's a crime.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious me. Nah, I'm keen. I'm keen as a bean. Thank you very much, Vigor. Here we go. Mika, hello.
Boys, that really boomed. Moffat really cooked. Let's call it a joy to the world. And can I say, Verada showed up? Crazy. What's going to go on with that? Maybe it's spatial genetics. What do you guys think? We've seen it with Gwen Cooper before. Doctor Who likes to reuse actors as well.
Thank you.
Gwen Cooper reference, let's go.
I love when we get callers that say what we've already said. It just shows that we're not good at ordering out these callers.
Well, look, it's part of the fun. It's part of the fun.
Yeah, it's good to get agreement.
I enjoyed their honesty. I enjoyed their energy.
Well, what did you think of the Jodie Whittaker reference, by the way? The 13th Doctor reference in the episode.
Mud ladies?
Yeah,
and stuff?
Sentient mud.
I forgot about
My
that episode.
favorite Jodie episode, The Witchfinders.
Really?
Really? Of all time?
Episode.
Of all of them?
Of all of Jodie's, yeah.
Wow. Gosh. I'm trying to think of what my... it's probably Power, just because it felt
I was going to
epic.
say, I feel like even though it's a cop
Yeah.
out, I feel like Power, it was a really good finale.
It's got a lot wrong with it, but man, I enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, it's
I really
so much
do.
fun.
Oh,
It's like the new series, The Five Doctors. It's just, it shouldn't work, and it kind of doesn't, but it's fun. So who cares?
Yeah.
And we're allowed
that
to
episode
treat,
is
aren't we?
wild. The Five Doctors.
Yeah.
That one, I've watched that twice now. One of them was during a 24-hour binge watch, and that it's so. I enjoy it. But Tom, man, the whole behind-the-scenes drama of Tom is probably more entertaining than the entirety of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's probably, like, what is going on?
That's just Tom Baker. He's nuts. Love him.
But yes, I was texting you when I was watching classic Doctor Who about City of Death. Man, what
Good story.
I want to see that one. I've heard so many good things about that particular one.
Like that's like welcome back, Stephen Moffat. Who was the writer of City of Death? Yeah, who was the writer of
Douglas
that?
Adams.
Yeah, my
Douglas Adams,
goodness
yeah.
gracious me.
As soon as you said City of Death, I was like, I can't believe I haven't recommended this to you earlier, because it's a Stephen Moffat episode.
It is a Stephen Moffat script, and it's so well done. Anyway.
Yeah, so well done.
Speaking of people that do things well, who have we got here? We can't have Conor McRae again. Oh, this one. I listened to this one, and I wrote, oh my gosh, in the notes, and I can't remember exactly why I wrote that. So let's give it a go.
See what Jada's got to say.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to let you know that overhearing a friend listen to that Space Babies parody song finally got me past my 2012 Tumblr super hulock trauma and convinced me to get into the 15th Doctor, and I love it so far. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, I am a chronological completionist, so I gotta go all the way back to Hartnell and catch up. You can tell me not to, but I will not be listening until anywhere from 3 months to a year from now, so that is useless. So yeah, I'll leave you with my single shaky prediction based entirely on the 4 episodes I've seen and also An Unearthly Child. Are you ready? Okay. Ruby is Susan's granddaughter. Whoa! $50 if I'm right. Okay, see y'all later, and thanks.
Right? Is that not the most insane call we've ever had?
I love Jada.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it chronologically. I was like, oh yeah, go back from Christopher Eccleston. I'm gonna start with Hartnell. Huh?
Wow. Well, I mean, like,
Super Hulock trauma. I'm with you 100%.
but what? Right at the start, did Jada say that the parody? She overheard the parody, as in my Justin Bieber Space Babies parody.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do something there? Did I
That's
create
your
history?
I think that's what she meant. Yeah, your little I'm watching Space Babies thing that gave me trauma.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people have said the word influencer here and there, but that's real influence.
Oh,
wow.
God. Move on. Next caller. He's getting big for himself.
Wow.
Move on.
Look, respect. We're not going to hear from Jada until next year, and they're going to be fully caught up and have the knowledge and abilities of Josh Snares. So I'm excited. Okay?
Yeah.
I think me and Jada could be besties. I feel
you guys
like
can have a rival
we have
podcast with much more knowledge.
Josh and Jada, let's go.
Oh, that has a really good ring to it, actually. Speaking of Josh and Jada, here's Jake.
Please,
what's Jake
someone
got
explain to me.
Oh, wait, no, we just had Jake before.
We've already had him. We already had Pavarotti.
We did a Sam Boom review. Hello.
Are you keeping that in?
Attention, incredible. The performances, phenomenal. I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen 15 angry or scared, but I think it's maybe the most we've seen him angry and scared, and Judy delivered absolutely. This one really worked for me. I love these little contained episodes, and they even said it in The Quarry, like Doctor Who ought to be.
Amen. Amen to that. Well played. Yeah, look, Shooty, I feel like Shooty has kind of been scared every episode. I don't know if that's rough for me to say. But this one, I almost dislike. Shooty was obviously scared. It's a terrifying situation, but this one felt like the Doctor was kind of like, all right, I'm going to lock in here. I've got to know my stuff. Like, and the whole premise Stephen Moffat said was, if you take away the Doctor's ability to run, what happens? They just have to use the big old noggin they have. And it was just really, really well done. It was just really, really well done. So thank you, Sam. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm having a hard time remembering who we have. Oh, let's go Coraline, the hit film.
Let's go for one of my mum's favourite films.
Yeah, cool. Here we go. Hello.
Come on, Coraline. What have you got?
Hi, guys. Coraline, France. So this episode was so exciting. Moffat really delivered. And I can't believe we made Verada Seto's character already. 1 episode and I'm obsessed with her. And I love the commentary about faith and the ambiguity of it and the correlation between faith and war. I mean, they really went there. And the visuals were amazing. And I love the singing and I cried. And I want every episode to be like this.
Well, they're not going to be, but if you want something... Yeah, we got another crier in the chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Coraline. Yep, thank you very much.
Yeah, wow.
Drop me a DM next time. We can just cry together at the next Moffat episode. And then I'll feel valid. No, there was something she said I wanted to pick up on, and I've already forgotten what it was. Help me.
Well, I mean, she mentioned, like, Moffat really tackled a lot of heavy themes, which is funny for an episode set entirely in one location. And I think Moffat did it quite tastefully. I don't know, Josh, you and I were saying that there's some discourse on Twitter, but that's every week on Twitter. Why are we still
I was going to say, I've
Yeah.
seen some very intriguing stuff on Twitter about like, oh, it's really disrespectful to religion, and then people are like, oh, I'm not a religious person, but I think blah 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 blah. It's been interesting to see some of the thoughts on it. Like, are either of you religious anyway, without getting like personal?
No, I'm not.
Not I mean, I have some faith in an afterlife with me and Danny Pink, but that's it. That it's just a massive
I thought we were
Gallifreyan
about
hard
to get
drive.
deep there, Crispy. I thought we were about to get
No,
deep there, and you had to go and
look,
ruin it.
I don't know. No, without getting too I mean, I've been to church, you know, but
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not
a religious person.
I would happily go on record and say that I'm a religious
And it's
person.
not bad if you
like,
are.
some
It's
mega
not bad if you
excessive
are,
way,
okay?
and I'm not like I'm going to be in your face about it. So I thought it was interesting to see other people talk about it. But to me, the way he wrote it was more about the problems with blind faith as opposed to faith in general. And
Well
I do think for some people the nuance may have been lost there, with all due respect to some of the Twitter people, even though sometimes they don't deserve it. Like the whole argument was about, you can't just believe blindly. You have to be able to have some agency in your faith. And as long as you have some independent thought, it's okay. Like, that was the whole thing. I honestly thought it was quite well delivered. And I thought the script said it quite well, but apparently Twitter didn't pick that up. But then again, who's really surprised by that?
Well,
yeah.
You go, Josh.
That's how I felt as well. It's definitely about blind faith. I don't think it's about faith in general. I don't think Doctor Who is a show that is anti-faith.
No.
But it's important to be critical of everything, including faith, because you can easily get yourself in situations that are really dangerous if you just believe without even thinking critically. So I think that's what it was about. And that's what the Doctor was annoyed at. It wasn't the faith part. That's how I read it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like the Moffat I wish they kind of explored this more. That's probably my one point off, is I really wanted them to delve more deep into the whole AI warfare and the weapons dealing, manufacturing. I thought that was a really, really cool concept, and how humanity, and it was the whole blind faith with this, that there is some kind of threat out there, and that humanity will believe anything if we just see the statistics. Oh, people are still dying in this war. The war must be happening, but it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, full circle thing. I thought that was really heavy from Moffat, but it's peripheral, which makes sense because this whole episode's about Shooty and Millie, and mainly Shooty's performance. But I just kind of wish we had like 5 more minutes exploring the effects of that, but maybe that's just my curiosity rather than serving the plot necessarily. What did you think about the whole AI war? Either
Troy?
of you?
No, Josh, you take this. You're only here once.
Yeah, because I think they more focused on like a commentary of capitalism rather than about like AI. I think they touched upon it, but they didn't go too far into it. But yeah, because there was just so many themes going on that I think you could easily get lost. But I think that he covered them enough that it wasn't too heavy-handed. But even like talking about like religion and military, and how like historically a lot of militaries are based in religion as well. So I think that's where a lot of people were like, oh, you think all religions are about militaries and stuff like that. And I think that's where people lost the nuance. Maybe that's where
I can see that. I could see that.
But I don't think that's what was trying to be said. I don't know.
No,
I don't
know. No, that's well put. I think. Look, I've only watched it the once, and I was hungover. Okay, so I'm not fully across it, so I might have missed some of the nuance. But
you haven't watched it twice and watched the commentary like I have. SMH, Crispy.
No, I haven't. I should have.
Absolutely deplorable.
I really should have.
Actually, to be fair, there's one thing I do want to hone in on, was that from the very start, I thought, even when it was first said, I thought, you've done that on purpose, Moffat, which is the thoughts and prayers thing. And there was a quote, I think it was in a Radio Times interview. I think it was that, or maybe it was Screen Run, but I've got the quote up here and just thought it was interesting. Because the interviewer said, I particularly enjoyed your use of the phrase thoughts and prayers throughout the episode, because I think it's something that in this world is absolutely futile, and people say it usually after a massive incident. What was the intention there? And Moffat said, yes, well, I always think about how saying I'm sending thoughts and prayers. How about cash? You could send cash or help. What the hell is that? I'm against it. It's like saying I'm very, very saddened about these needless deaths. I'm glad you gave me that useful piece of information. I thought I might have cheered you up.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Yeah. Because you get that, people say thoughts and prayers, and you're like, yeah, well, you going to say anything else? A lot of people who say thoughts and prayers, I mean, if we're going to get deep into it, they're not even religious. They don't pray. Like,
wow.
It's just a phrase people throw around.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Almost that, like, exact line of what you just read from Moffat could have been a line of dialogue that the Doctor would say.
Maybe it was, and he took it out of the script.
It's almost verbatim. I almost read that as Peter Capaldi. Yeah,
So
wow.
let me ask you a question about your thoughts and prayers.
Clara.
Clara. We're going to save Danny Pink with your thoughts and prayers.
We're going to save your boyfriend. All right.
That
Come on.
scene where Millie has like the urn or the casket. It's just Clara. They just wrote her like Clara in that scene, and I loved it.
100%.
I didn't care. I didn't care.
100%.
It was just like Clara and 12 were back, and I loved every second of it. I'm allowed a little bit of nostalgia.
Absolutely, yes, you are.
Absolutely.
You said fish fingers and custard in it. I mean, come on, you've got to have your nostalgia.
There were a few little nostalgic moments. I didn't realize that the whole villain guard was a reference to Moffat's first episode in the revived series. I had no idea that was mentioned. Though it was in Empty Child Dr. Dances. They mentioned the weapons factories on Villain Guard briefly.
Yeah.
It's very
they
brief.
do. I was going to say, I swear I'd heard that word before.
Yep, and then they bring up the whole Marine clerics thing that's in
Marines,
series 5. Yeah, Anglican Marines. I mean, look, Moffat, he was like, you know what? I've done this for so long. I deserve a little, a little indulgence for me. Thank you.
He didn't make a browser history joke.
Yeah, what's up with? Well, look, there's
Christmas.
always Christmas, as we say. Yep. Yeah, Christmas is gonna
He could have
rock
had
our
the AI
world.
of John going through the ambulances and 15 just going, careful, don't look at that browser history.
Yeah, that's exactly
It was
how it
right
would have
there.
happened.
Come on,
Yeah, it
Bob.
was right there and he
Come
didn't
on,
use
Bob.
it. Oh,
Please.
what a silly man. He wrote great
Oh,
Doctor Who,
my
but didn't make a browser
goodness.
history joke. Immediately 1 out of 10.
Oh my goodness. Okay, look, we'll take one more caller and then we'll wrap
more
things
caller.
up
Who've
for
you
this
got?
beautiful review. Look, we've got Sonic the Screwdriver. You've heard of Sonic Screwdriver. Now this is Sonic the Screwdriver. So here we
Okay.
go. Hello. Oh no, it's frozen on me again, so we're gonna have to stall for time.
I think we're
stalling
going to
for
take 2
time.
calls as well because I see one couple down that's a first time caller and we can't.
Oh
we can't
yeah,
leave someone who's a
okay, we'll do
first-time
that.
caller.
Okay, here we go. Sonic the Screwdriver first.
Let's do it.
So I really enjoyed Boom. I thought it was incredibly suspenseful, so much so I made sure not to blink. I even had to take a deep breath when Ruby was shot. I also really enjoyed the return of the Heaven Sent Marines. And overall, it was one of my favourite episodes of RTD2, and I'd say it was a joy to my world.
Were they just trying to throw in Moffat titles there?
As
Was
many
that the whole
Moffat
bit?
titles as they could,
Okay,
yeah.
well done, Sonic Screwdriver. You're mischievous.
Yeah, you get your pat on the back. Yeah, well
Yeah,
done,
well
well done.
done.
Next time,
All
do it
right.
for 30 seconds.
we
Quitting
go.
after 21. Not enough episode titles. Come on.
Here
You'll
we
have
go.
to the 11th hour to call in, clearly. All right, Chris is our
Oh,
first time
gosh.
caller. What have we got from Chris?
Hello, Chris.
Boom
Chris
was
Chibnall?
fantastic. This was exactly what I wanted from this new season. I really enjoyed the previous 2 episodes, but they weren't top tier Doctor Who. For me, this was top tier Doctor Who. Moffat delivered. There were so many emotions in such a short span of time. Loved every second of it. And I mean, Verada Sifu was in it. That's got to mean something. Hopefully there's something going on there. Some sort of mystery for us to unravel for season 2. Maybe she's in the Christmas special, which Stephen Moffat has also written. So who knows? But this was absolutely fantastic. And the trailer for 73 Yards next week also looks great. Cannot wait. I am buzzing after this episode.
Wow, thank you so much,
Thank you very
Chris
much, Chris.
Chibnall. That was
Yeah,
insane.
you have to realise that you were laughing at. So I was like, oh yeah, the Chris Chibnall
I
joke.
just
yeah.
imagined the entire time that Chibnall was saying, Moffat's
I thought I
back.
could have
I'm
used
so
more running down
excited.
corridors. Yeah.
She was just happy not to have to write it anymore. He's just
Yeah.
watching.
Like, thank gosh,
Oh,
thank
gosh.
gosh. That's what. Well, I mean, an excellent way to end off. Josh, how are you feeling about next week's episode? 73 Yards.
It's the first week where I've allowed myself to like get really hyped. Because before, like every episode, I'm like, I'm not getting my expectations high because I'll just be disappointed. But I'm feeling really good about next week. It sounds like it's really up my alley, and it sounds really fun. So
Doctor Light potentially? Question mark. It seems like.
potentially.
Which already has made some people angry, but I mean, like, come on, let's see Millie shine. Let's see what she's got to
The thing is, people thought Boom was going to be Doctor Light as well, and it wasn't. He
Yeah,
was just
exactly.
standing around.
We'll find
yeah.
out. We will find out. I did see a theory, I think it was from Bad Wolf Archives on Twitter, and I did really like this, that apparently the idea is that woman in the next time is always going to be 73 yards away from Ruby.
That's what.
And I think
that's
that's...
what I guessed from the. But I mean,
Yeah, I didn't
have you
clock
seen
that, and I'm like,
the?
oh, that might be right. That might be right.
Have you seen the film It Follows?
Yeah.
Either of you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be as scary as that, but that's what I thought when I saw the trailer.
And probably not as sexual.
No, that movie, it's a strange one.
Yeah,
It's a
Moffat's
really...
right in this one.
Yeah, it's Moffat's week off, so...
Yes, Josh. And on that note, I think we'll finish it up there. So thank you all very much for listening and watching. Josh, it's sellout time. Tell everyone where they can find you, everywhere and everything, and what to expect from you, everything. Just pitch yourself. Go for it.
I am on YouTube, Josh Snares. I talk about Doctor Who, allegedly. And I'm also on Twitter, unfortunately, because I am an addict. And I'm also just Josh Snares on that as well. So I'm around. If you like to talk about Doctor Who, or if you like to listen to beautiful people like me talk about Doctor Who, come find me.
That's beautiful.
Online, not in real life. That's
No,
go and find them in real life. Their address is insert TV beep.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for being here, Josh. It's always delight. I hope to see you in person one day. Wouldn't that be swell? That would be so nice. Yeah, well,
listen,
never know.
You did this with the 50% boys last week. You're teasing your little Aussie plans. I'm pointing it out now. I'm making it more aware. It's a
small place. It's a small place in the world. We could probably walk to each other if we tried.
You never know.
You never know.
Anything could happen.
We're at least 73 yards away from each other.
Oh, moving on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for listening and watching. Crispy, next week we're live, are we not?
My goodness gracious me, yeah, we are.
Which is risky because we've got another guest. Have we timed the stream with the guest yet?
I don't think so, because now I'm thinking in my head they probably want to film a review for their channel.
Do you know what? Fun fact, I've forgotten who we have next week. We have a guest planned. I've said this before, for every episode till 7. I'm losing track of who's in what episode. I don't remember.
If everything goes to plan, I'll say it on the record. Why not? Then it puts pressure on us. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, they wanted to come on this episode because they are from Wales themselves, and next week is set in Wales. It is the beautiful Faeries. So
it's Faeries time.
Yeah, it's Faeries time.
Well, hey.
So we'll see how that goes, but it might not be. But we'll see.
Faeries live. Oh, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble. We are in trouble.
For the audio listeners, it will still go up usual time, Tuesday, 6 a.m. UK time. We haven't yet decided on the live time, but we will let you know in the Discord server. So link in the description in our link tree. I will post in there, and we've got the plan for the live stream time.
Beautiful.
Crispy and I will arrange it.
Yep.
But until then, thank you all very much for listening and watching to whatever episode number this is. I've given up at this point. I think it's 110, but I lose track. But thank you very much, Josh, for coming here to talk about Stephen Moffat.
You.
We really appreciate you being here, and we will see all of you next time when we talk about 73 yards. Halfway through season 1 after that. Oh my god. Oh, right. Let's end it before I feel old. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you all next time. It's goodbye from Crispy.
See ya.
It's goodbye from Josh.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. See you all next week. 73 yards review. Alonzi, baby.
I like that boom, boom, pow. That
Stop.
Stop.
You missed your chance. Roll it. Outro.